Stitches. Welcome to my channel. Today is Sunday, June the 5th, and it is about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Today is a very mixed up day. It's very dark on that side and kind of sunny on that side, so probably going to get more rain. So if you've been with me for a while, you know that that's not exactly what we want. Yeah. So I want to say welcome and thank you for coming back. If you're new, I hope you like what you see and stick around, subscribe, like, share, and all that stuff. You can also find me on Instagram at TinaStitches74. So today I have 3 projects to share and a fully finished object. I was supposed to have it finished for my last video, but I hummed and hawed and couldn't decide on how I was going to finish it. There was a piece missing in the kit, and so I had to make a decision on how I was going to go forward with the last little bit to finish it. So that is done, and you can't see it very well, but it's right there on my little stand of smalls. My tiered tray, I guess it is. So I'll show you that in a little bit. So I did 3 projects, 3 other projects that I worked on all week, which is kind of in the norm for me. I usually have a lunchtime project at work, but that one, because I was on holidays, I didn't work on that. I don't think I've showed it very often anyways. Yeah, it's kind of stalled out right now. I might just make it a weekend project and take something else to work. But yeah, so the 3 projects that I did work on, because I'm on holidays, I did get a lot of work done on those, and I'm going to try to not forget to show you Beloved. I made notes, so I'm going to go by the notes, and it's right there because I do have something to talk about for that. So we're into June. May, there was I failed completely on the magazine monthly challenge group May challenge. I don't even know if I posted a single picture. I'm pretty sure I didn't post any starting or stopping pictures or even my plans. But June I have posted and I have plans, and basically it's just going to be 3 projects to fit the acrostic, and that's it. Because for the month of June, well, for any month really, I think 3 projects is a good number for mixing it up, because I also have Whip Go, so that throws in 2 more possible projects, plus I have my daily stitching on Beloved. So yeah, I don't want to overwhelm myself with I gotta switch out to this one and then switch out to this one and switch out to this one, because I do like getting about 3 or 4 days of progress on a project. I made my Whip Go goals 22 hours per project per the month it's called in, or catch up after that. So I don't want to be like, for instance, let's just use Beloved as an example. If I have Beloved written down in July, I'm not going to count the stitches that I've done now on it and then call it done in July. I will, if it's called in July, I will work on that for 22 hours in July. If I don't make those 22 hours, then it would go on until it's done. Yeah. That's just me. That's just my way of trying to get more stitches done on these projects, because I can stitch on them before, but it won't count. I don't know if that makes any sense to you. It makes sense to me. So that's how it's going to be. I mean, whip go is however you want to do it. And for those who don't know or who are not familiar with whip go is it's a Facebook group run by Jessie Marie Does Stuff, and she calls 2 numbers in a month, and you work on those projects for whatever your goal was. Whatever projects you put in those squares, you make yourself a bingo square. Mine is right here. 22 hours or a finish. Cassiopeia will give me a bingo, because it was called this month. I haven't picked it up yet. But once I do and I get those 22 hours in, that will get a big X through it. And that will be a bingo. Bingo, whip go. Yeah. So, I guess you're going to want to see the cross stitching. So let's just get into it. The first project that I'm going to share, I started last year in July when my husband had to go for back surgery. Sorry about that. This is a kit by Vervico. And it is called Girl in a Poppy Field. And I had started this on the kit fabric, which was 14 count Ada. This is how much I got done before I just, well, I mean, during the entire trip, and after we got home and that, I decided I just don't enjoy it. I don't like the fabric. I don't want to stitch on this. But I really, really like the pattern. So in May, well, prior to May, I decided I'm going to give it another shot. I found this piece of 32 count platinum Zweigart Belfast fabric and decided to restart on it. And I will put in a picture here of where it was when you last saw it. I have almost met the goal, because this was called for June Whip Go, and we're on the 5th day of June. I've been on holidays, so I've had more time to stitch. My evening can start at 4 o'clock instead of 7 o'clock, so this is where I'm at. I am loving this so much more now than I did on the Ada. I know I would be struggling with it. I've even gone ahead and done some of the back stitching just for those details. So here's the picture. So as you can see, I've gotten probably a quarter I'm going to say almost a quarter of it finished. I don't have her arm or the rest of her hair done, but yeah. Really like this one. I'm so happy with the fabric choice now. And when I get to those reds, I don't know if I'll be able to put it down. There's just something about monochromatic patterns. It's just this one I think is 22 colors. Yeah. So that's, I call it Poppy Girl. It's Girl in a Poppy Field, but if you hear me call it Poppy Girl, this is the one I'm referring to. Aside from the fabric, I am using the called for kit threads, which the kit labels them as DMC. I don't believe that it's not DMC, so there's that. The second project that I've been working on, I've been hoping to work on it in my sunroom. So I put the kit out there and hope to get out there and stitch. But it has not been warm enough out there. Sorry about that. Gidget is here. Khaleesi is also here. Under the table here somewhere. There she is. Gidget is over by the stairway looking out the window to see what the neighbor dogs are doing. Also, Daddy left and didn't take her. So, you may hear her, and I'm going to apologize. I can't. There's nothing I can do about it, really. I can try to edit if it gets really bad. So this next project that I worked on, like I said, I wanted to work on it in my sunroom because it's easy enough to work on here and there, pick it up, put a couple stitches in, but it hasn't been warm enough out there and I really want to get it finished. So I decided that's it. I'm just gonna work on it during the day, couple of days on my holidays, before I settle in to work on Poppy Girl. You know, this is one I would, okay, pick it up, put a little bit in while I'm waiting for somebody to do something or go somewhere. I have a thread in there, but just put it on my needle minder. I don't know if it's going to matter if I put in a picture where it was before because it's in my Q-snap, and I don't know if I've kept pictures of this one because I'm only showing a small area at a time. But this is Owl Forest Embroidery, Alice in Wonderland freebie sal that they had on their website. It's still there as far as I know, last time I checked. I am stitching it in colors that I converted, pulled from my stash, that matched the DMC conversion that they had on their floss usage guide, and I'm stitching it on 32 count raw Belfast linen, and I used a lot of floss. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure the pattern calls for 2/2 on 32 count. And yeah, I don't know how much floss they give you when you buy the floss pack, but I've so far had to place orders for more green, more of the dark brown, and most recently more of the lighter yellow color. which did come in. And so I did work on the tablecloth again. So I brought the tablecloth all the way across and started to work on this motif, which is part 16, which came out before the tablecloth, before the table pattern, but I wanted to work on the table and then finish part 16 because that's where my Q-snap is. So I moved the Q-snap over. It was this guy was more centered on it, and I've moved it over so I could work this end of the table, and then I will go ahead and finish the clock on part 1 or part 2 because I had pulled out a metallic thread and did not do that because I was waiting to see how the rest of it went, basically, and I've made a decision to go ahead and use the metallic on that. But that's where it's at. .32 count raw Belfast linen, not called for threads. Yeah, I'm getting very close to having it finished. There's a few parts that I have to go back to finish, such as the footman in the one scene. I believe the charted pattern has 2 frog footmen, but I think they're supposed to be fish, or a fish and a frog. I have to look at the book and then make a decision onto what I'm going to do. But I'm pretty sure they're both supposed to be fish. And yeah, so that needs to be done. There's a house that needs to be filled in, and the corner, I think, where the Mad Hatter is standing, it needs to be finished. So yeah. Oh, and I'm probably going to have to order more thread because that teapot is filled in with this color, which it looks like I might have enough, but it's questionable. Or I will pull a DMC that's close and blend them. Or buy another skein of Twilight by Weeks Dye Works for, you know, the 6 strands that I'm going to need. So that's Alice. Now, before I forget and go on to other things, I should show you the third whip that I worked on. If you've been with me for a while, you will know which whip I am referring to. I started this project back in 2016. So 6 years now. I've only had Flosstube for 5 years, so when I started Flosstube, you've seen... Okay. Camera battery died, so I had to replace it. And now I got hair in my eye, my nose, itchy. So if you've been with me from day one, or have gone back to see my history of videos, hopefully I've got better since then. But anyways, you will have seen this project as it was about a page row finished, I believe, when I started doing Flosstube videos. I am 95.15% finished. Out of 295,450 X's, I have 281,127 finished. Now I say X's, but it's really half stitch. I'm stitching this 2/1 half cross on 25 count even weave. Here's what it's supposed to look like. And here's where it was when you last saw it. And here it is now. I don't know if you can tell, but I feel like I made a lot of progress this week. Because I wasn't at work, I was able to do a lot more stitching during the day. My morning stitches extended from 20 minutes to about 3 or 4 hours. And so what that has meant is that I get close to or more than 700 stitches a day. Some of you may remember that my goal is 1400 stitches a week. So by doing 700 stitches a day, I knock off a week in 2 days of my projected finish time. So instead of September 2nd being the anticipated finish day, it is now bumped up to August 14th. That is 2 days after I am supposed to start a stitching shelf with Carolyn Zook and Kim from Stitch and Stuff. Kim and Sarah at Stitch and Stuff. Kim is doing the stitching bookshelf with us. I believe she has also picked Max Color. I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, so anyways, this is Beloved. What I've been working on. Honestly, I don't even know how many colors I've finished. Last time it was 3, now it's about 10 or 11. Because what I was doing was working my way over typewriter style during my weekends, like my days off. So working over here, picking the most left color and completing it or until my thread runs out. And then I noticed if I do this entire color, I have 2 stitches left somewhere else and this color will be completed. So I went and found those 2 colors, which is over here in this massive confetti, stitched them, color complete. And so I thought, well, I could keep doing that, but that takes a lot of time. So what I should do instead is work on some black to get some bulk stitching in. So I would work on a color over here and then pick the highest point of black and work it down. So that's why you see a lot of streaks of black or chunks of black are finished. And this area here is a lot more filled in than it used to be. So I'm getting a lot closer, and I feel like there's going to be a lot less confetti now, and I may be able to get more than 1400 stitches a week. May. Now I do have 2 weeks off in July that I plan on being away for, so that is going to bump it back to September if I don't do any stitching on it or recoup that time, that stitching somehow somewhere else. So those are my whips, my works in progress. For plans, well, let's show you my finish first. I'm gonna disconnect it from here, if I can remember how I did this. This is the shepherd's bush, shepherd's scissor fob. There's the kit. I had bought it off of a stash unload site, and it came with everything except for the sheep charm. I do want to say a big thank you to Dina Shaw, a viewer. I hope you don't mind me sharing your name. But she suggested that I go onto Etsy and look at sheep charms, and I did. And so that's where my dilemma came in for, well, do I just do a 1/1 sheep, or do I just order a charm? So that was where the delay came. I did make another change, and that is with the beads. So I used the called for DMC thread that came with the kit. The beads that came with the kit, I don't know if you're going to be able to see them very well. They're kind of muted, which honestly they do go well with that particular design, but that's not really my aesthetic. So I picked up, out of my stash, I picked 3 similar colors, but with more shimmer to them. And these are Mill Hill beads. $2077 for the red, $10,049 for the pale blue, and $3021 for the cream color. And here is my finish. So there's the one side. I don't know if you can see the sparkle on the beads, but and here is the other side, the side that has the sheep. So as you can see, I did a over 1 little lamb with little bits of grass. I think it turned out really adorable. The lamb is actually from a Plum Street sampler design, which I don't have, but I just looked at the picture and recharted it. So, credit to Plum Street sampler for an adorable little lamb. And that will go here with Victoria. So now, plans. So for the monthly magazine challenge group, I really struggled with the theme piece, because I do want to get a piece from a magazine finished for that. I only have 2 magazine pieces on the go right now, and I'm just not quite feeling them. One is really close to being finished and the other one is not at all close. But I know once I pick them up, I will get that rush again. But I have other things that I haven't touched, or I really want to get finished. So those are the things that I've chosen for this. And that Poppy Girl, she has flowers. So for the theme flowers, it's going to be Poppy Girl. And really all I'm going to do is one night per letter, per acrostic challenge thing. So Poppy Girl gets, I'm at 18 hours of my Whip Go goal of 22. So we finish off the 4 hours. That's going to be both Whip Go and monthly magazine challenge group complete. The other project that I'm going to work on is my Owl Forest Alice, and that's going to cover F for forest. The word that I'm spelling is floral, Floral. So F for forest, owl for the A, for the O, because I can't spell. A I was struggling with. I was going to do a dia, which is my Mirabilia pattern that I had been working on in May, and I've put it away, and I don't really want to pull it out again to do 1 day's worth of work to put it away again. So I'm going to use Alice, which it didn't even occur to me when I was making my plans, and I posted it in the group. Alice for A. For R, I'm going to do Rose Quaker. I have to pull it out and do my gridding, and then I'll be happy with it. So I barely got that one started in May. And for L, the 2 L's, I'm going to be doing Sexy Sampler, Les Belles Lettres de Gigi by GGR Reproductions T. You don't have to adjust your camera, your TV, your monitor, anything like that. You really can't see it. Even when you Google it, the images, honestly, they're big circles of blur. So I just went by faith that I would like it, and I do. And here's where we're going to be starting at. And I'm stitching mine on 35 count Edinburgh linen that I dyed myself. And here's where it's at for our starting point for monthly magazine challenge. I just spotted a needle. Okay. So that is being also stitched with Anchor Black so that you can actually see it. And that is it for plans. I know there's something else I was going to work on, but I can't think of what it is or why. Oh, yeah. Second Sunday, so next week, I'll be working on my Simplicity Dimensions Vintage Simplicity pattern by Dimensions that I am stitching along with Kim from Stitch and Stuff. I didn't bring it over here, but you'll see it. You should see it next week. So, haul. I did place an order with 123 because I needed that color of thread. So, you know, you have to make it worth it. You're paying for the shipping anyway. So I decided to order all of the charms and beads minus one package required for Adele, the Garden Fairy. So I got all those. And the charms were available. I was worried. A while ago I heard that they were discontinued and I was worried. But I got all the charms. There's no substitutions made. These are all the called for treasures and charms required for this pattern, which I'm stitching on 32 count Huntress by Picture This Plus. So I got those, and I didn't think that I got a pattern, but then it showed up and I was like, oh yeah, I remember I wanted that, so I put it in my cart. And this is Zelda by Mirabilia. It's a little bit out of my normal stitching. I don't have very many of these big ladies doing the sitting and posing. I believe there's two others, Veronica and Sabrina, I want to say. Yeah. But anyways, so I got that one. I don't know what fabric I'm going to use for the background. I don't anymore use the called for. So we'll see. We'll see what I can come up with. Aside from that, I am going to report that I did not start the last start that I was planning, the final start for my May Madness, Mayhem, whatever you want to call it, Stitch Mania. I was going to start this one, but I'm not going to right now. But I may put it in the bag in the car because sometimes you just need something in the car. We had to take Khaleesi, the little white dog that I have, we had to take her to the vet again for blood work just to make sure her liver enzymes were going back to normal because they had been thrown off probably by the medication. And so in a rush to get in the car, I didn't grab anything to stitch, and it's a 1 hour drive both ways, and I don't drive, so I'm a passenger every time, and I didn't have anything to stitch. And that's when I'm like, geez, I wish I had something to stitch. You know, it's that if you don't have it, you want it kind of thing. Yeah. So maybe if I throw something in the car, it might get a couple stitches in, or it may not. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's everything that I have to share. We're all caught up. Khaleesi, also known as Squeaky, is doing a lot better. Like I said, we went to the vet. The results came back normal, so she doesn't have to do that round of medication again, which it wasn't expensive, so it wouldn't have been that big of a deal for her health. I had a diabetic dog. He went through a lot more expense than we're doing right now with her, so we're all good. One thing I wanted to mention, when I was making this, the cord did not come with it. It came with lengths of pearl cotton number 5, and it had instructions on how to make a cord to do this. And I know a lot of people make their own cords. It's not something new, but I found that the instructions tie it to a pencil, tie each end to a pencil, and then twist. And it's like, it's really hard to twist when it's on a pencil. So I didn't do both ends on a pencil. I put one end on a pencil, kept that end on the floor with my foot on it to keep it from moving, and then I held the other end with my fingers, and I was just twisting it like this, because you get a lot more twisting done this way than you do trying to spin a pencil. So I did that, and then you twist it enough that it doubles up on itself. Well, when it doubles up on itself, if you don't have it perfectly lined up, you get little bunches. And so I went quickly grabbed something to create a weight on it while it's twisting up on itself. So I grabbed my floss ring from a project, because you want it to be able to come off of there without cutting it. So I grabbed this and I put it on the cord. I had it closed, and as it twisted on itself, this kept the weight, so it twisted nice and evenly. So I just thought I'd share that tip for anybody else who's doing cording by hand without, one of those Krynic cording spinner things, or you can use a drill, but I'm talking like I'm just sitting down, I'm making cording. I'm not going to go out to the garage and grab a drill. So yeah, a pencil, binder clip, pearl cotton, there you go. So yeah, I think I've rambled on long enough. Yeah, I was going to tell you about my kayaking a little bit yesterday, but I won't tell you about it. Instead, I'm going to just include a couple of pictures. Myself, my husband, and 2 friends went out kayaking yesterday, and, well, we had fun. And I got a little bit sunburned. I was wearing my jacket up to here, and so, yeah. My ankle, not even my ankles, the top of my feet got it too. So, anyways, I will throw in a couple of those pictures. But until next time, which should be a week, take care of yourself, take care of each other, be good to one another, and happy stitching. Bye.